epidemic rampantly spreading throughout our nation. It's affecting millions and millions of people of all races, of all ages, and of both genders. The worst part is that it's one of the leading preventable causes of death in the entire world. And we can't even stop it. In the most powerful country in the entire world, it's obesity. Just to clarify, this is more about the epidemic of obesity than it is about being overweight. It's about the habits, lifestyles, and customs that infect us and contribute to this disturbing phenomenon. Obesity is a medical condition in which excess body fat can affect your health in a negative way. It can be defined by someone's body mass index, or the ratio of a person's body weight to their height. Obesity is a leading preventable cause of death worldwide, and the Surgeon General of the United States has claims that it is one of the most serious public health problems of the 21st century. There are several key factors that help contribute to obesity. First of all, a sedentary lifestyle. Worldwide, there's been a huge shift towards less demanding work, and currently, at least 60% of the world gets insufficient exercise to cope for the lack of exercise they get at work. 60% of the world. When you think about all of the poor people in Africa who they don't have that kind of sedentary work. Think about that's a lot of people that we lose, and that's a larger percent of our country that is not getting enough exercise we need, and we're having people dying. It's also due to the new methods of transportation we have. We aren't walking, we aren't bicycling anymore. We aren't using our bodies in the way that God gave us. In children, it's especially horrible. There appears to be levels of decline in physical activity. Kids aren't walking. Schools are cutting their physical education programs because we don't have the money. We don't have the money to keep our kids healthy. Another interesting thing, in both children and adults, there is a direct correlation between watching television and obesity. We're taking our health, we're taking things that matter to us. I mean, even animals can keep their health. They can keep themselves healthy. They can find good food to eat. They can get around. They can do what it takes to survive and be healthy, but we can't. We're supposed to be the most sophisticated species on the planet. We're supposed to be beyond all this. In fact, a 2008 test found that 63 of 73 of their studies, or 86%, showed childhood obesity definitely increased when exposed to media. If we live in an environment that does not provide us with as many opportunities, like jobs that don't require as much physical work, more office jobs, and we have to drive our car to work every day, if we live in that kind of environment, then we need to compensate. We need to do something. We can't just sit here and let ourselves just deteriorate. There's a large health risk that also comes. And it's so saddening to hear of all the terrible stories. There's various diseases that obesity directly contributes to, such as heart disease, people having breathing difficulties during sleep. I mean, you can't even sleep. Certain types of cancer, and diabetes. That's a big one. According to Kaiser Permanente, 35% of healthcare dollars are spent on diabetes. Do you realize how much we spend on healthcare? If that 35% was decreased by a lot, think about all the good things we could do, and we're spending it all on people who need help, but they need help because they haven't taken care of themselves. A study from the Journal of the American Medical Association found that obesity just destroys us so much that some people have problems picking something up from the ground. We're taking basic things that we should be able to do. We're taking things that everyone should be able to do, and we're just throwing it away because we're making bad choices. An example of negative effects, just one aspect, another key element is food and the kind of food we eat. You may have heard of the documentary Super Size Me by Morgan Spurlock. He ate just McDonald's for an entire month, and it was disgusting. And he gained 24.5 pounds, and his cholesterol skyrocketed to 230. he experienced mood swings, sickness, and he had fat accumulate in his liver. All of this just from not exercising enough and making horrible choices. It's our own laziness that is creating these problems. We have lost our own standards, like basic standards, being healthy, maintaining health, inspiring others to be healthy. We can't live like we are professional athletes, or like we live in the 1800s and we're railroad workers who spend their entire day working and pushing themselves. You know, we've known about this for a long time too. Wasn't gluttony one of the 7 deadly sins? You know, it's been around. We've been warned. In Proverbs 23:2, from the New International Version, it says, "And put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony." We've known for quite some time the dangers. Well, what can we do? We can make better choices. We can, about things like health, exercise, and food, especially things that we should know. And we can uphold the standards of basic health that we have to. It is wrong. It is wrong to let ourselves become lazy and foolish enough to ignore good health options just for our own gain, or lack of.